This is me letting myself know in the edit that that's what's happening right now. Because then I scrub for it forever. And I'm like, where's the fucking thing? And then sometimes I show myself real quick and then I can't find that either. So this is like a long thing in the video.
You're like prolonging the fucking Uncle Kyle's job. Having to scrub
No. This 100% would make it so much. It would make it so much easier. It's very smart.
Yeah.
You're saving yourself time to do the thing that Uncle Kyle does for his job.
Exactly. I'm trying not to prolong it. Yeah, absolutely. Fuck your mom.
I didn't mean to say prolong. I meant to say a different word.
That's okay.
Prevent?
Yeah,
Maybe.
that works.
Yes, that's right.
That works. They're both peas.
Boom. Fuck your mom.
What the fuck?
Uncle Kyle.
You like that, Kyle?
It's funny.
See, you don't understand where I'm coming from. I have different education than you. I went to
refrigerator college.
Vibing and thriving. Vibing and thriving. I'm excited. Yeah.
This episode of We Are New is brought to you by Refrigerator College. It's the only college where you can study refrigerators exclusively, head to toe, the ones with 2 doors that are in the middle, and then the top one that's separate from the freezer. You learn about all of that shit. Go to refrigeratorcollege.com. Figure it out. Bitch, you get it.
Hell yeah, baby.
It sounds better. You look better. Everything's better.
Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Hey, Kyle.
Hey, Rob.
Welcome back, buddy.
Hey, thank you.
Uncle Kyle.
It's so good to be back.
Wow. Hello.
Can I ask you before because we want to catch up with you and find out what was happening in your specific Northwest. But
specific Northwest?
Is that not what you call it? Is that not specifically where you were?
Get out of here.
Specifically, I guess I can't say you're wrong, but
right.
that's not what we call it.
So what did you think of the episodes that we published while you were gone? Like, what did you think of them? What was your favorite moment from the episodes we made without you? You watched them.
I watched one of them.
Which one did you watch?
And I've watched clips of the I do watch the reels and things that you post.
Cool.
Right. What was which episode did you watch?
It was the one. It was like the first one that you posted after I left. I don't remember.
What was your favorite part from that episode?
I don't remember. It's been weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you watched it. I don't think you watched the show that you produced.
I watched it, but I will admit I was distracted while I was watching it.
Sure. Yeah. Like so much so that you didn't watch it.
I mean, it was like it was on in the background. So I mean, I had it playing. Right. I gave you a view. I gave you a full episode view.
I really appreciate that. That's good. You gave me a view. You mean you gave us a view to the show that you produced?
Here's the yes, I gave us a view. Okay. Here's the thing: is that it was when I was in Idaho with my dad or staying with my dad, and he works for the railroad, so he's gone for most of the week. So it was just me and my sister, and we hadn't caught up in a long time.
Day on the railroad.
Yeah, just swinging his pickaxe.
Nice.
And so I was catching her up on like what I've been up to and everything, and I told her about this, and I was like trying to explain. I was like, well, I'll just play something, and so I played the most recent episode. And while it was playing, we were also talking about like other things. So it was like
when you go to a show and then people in the audience are having their own conversation instead of watching.
But it's not a live show. I'm not being rude to the person on the stage.
You were being rude. It was a distance thing. What took you specifically to the Northwest, my friend? What were you doing up there? Why'd you leave us for so long?
Well, 2 things. I had this whole year has been just a year of, it's been 3 weddings and a funeral. Well, 3 weddings and 2 funerals, technically.
Okay.
So this particular one was the last wedding on my list. It was a wedding of one of my closest friends from back in high school, got married in Idaho.
Mazel tov.
The weekend before that, we were having, it's a longer story, but like the second memorial service for my grandma who had died back in May.
I'm sorry to hear that. I mean, I know, but I'm saying that out loud now.
Yeah.
What,
for the
second memorial service?
Yeah. So we had one from like where she lived most of her life in Idaho. So like that's where a lot of the family
like
is
a
and everything. It was
geographical
the
thing.
yeah, when it was like
Yeah.
it was like that's where all the family is. That's where she, you know, lived for a lot of her life. But she also, my grandma and my grandpa have lived in Montana as well, a small place called Virginia City.
And everywhere in Montana is a small place.
They're all small towns. But yeah, we
Yeah.
drove through most of it, and it was just a bunch of nothing. But
That seems to be your family's general vibe. They like to be where there's not a lot of other people.
a lot of
Idaho,
my family, yeah.
Montana. These are not known for their populations.
Yeah. And they're all over too. I think I have one aunt that lives in Pennsylvania in like the big city near, I don't remember exactly what city, but like an hour from New York.
Oh, okay. So yeah, on the east side.
Yeah.
Got it.
Other than that, yeah, they're all pretty much in smaller areas. But yeah, no, so we had the first one in Idaho for the family and everything. And then as my grandparents got older after they retired, they started splitting their time between Arizona and Montana.
Again, fucking nobody in most of
No,
Arizona.
well, and the area that they're in, Lake Havasu, is a very small area as well.
Wow.
But the town in Montana, my grandpa built an entire house with his bare hands from the ground up. And
I love to imagine he didn't even use tools.
yeah, no, just
hammered it in
just
with
his
his fucking
hands,
fist.
just like well, I guess you guys don't know Omni-Man because you only watched the first episode of.
No, because you scared the shit out of us with this
different-
fucking no warning
no.
episode of Invincible where you're anyway, we don't have time for
And
that.
no, that's a whole other thing.
You wouldn't believe.
So because we'll talk about that later. Because it took years for him to build it, and they basically integrated themselves into the whole community, and so everybody knew them. And it's
Right.
something that my grandparents do everywhere they go. Anywhere they go, they become like a part of.
Like the mayor of the town.
Yeah, because
Essentially, I mean-
everywhere they move, they're the 13th person that lives there.
Well, and it's just the type of people that they are. They're very
Yeah.
charismatic. They're very
That's cool.
caring and giving. My grandpa was on the city council for Post Falls, where I grew up.
Cool.
So in Montana, everybody loved her, and they bought a bar and like co-owned this bar there. And so a lot of the people in the town couldn't make it to the Idaho one, and my grandpa just wanted to do a separate thing for just the people of Virginia City.
I respect that. That's
And
cool.
a lot
That's
of
very
the
sweet.
like close family also went there, and I wanted to be there for that because I also hadn't seen their Montana home. I'd always meant to visit and always wanted to, but I've lived away for so long, it just never happened. So yeah, we had that one weekend, and then the following weekend was a wedding in Idaho, and I was like, I'm not going to fly to Montana, or I'd have to fly to Spokane, drive to Montana. It's a whole thing, and then go back to LA that weekend, work from my bedroom, and then fly back to Idaho again. I wasn't going to do that,
Right.
and I can work from home. I have my laptop, so I was like, I asked my dad, can I just stay at your house while you're gone? So I did that.
Gotcha.
And then I stayed for another couple of weeks because originally I was supposed to be done with work. So I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
can we speak anonymously at least? Because I know you're like all of us, we sign the NDAs and have to not talk about TV shows. And I know your show is a newer thing that's not out yet.
yeah.
But can we speak anonymously about how fucking long you guys have been working on one season?
Yeah, no, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. No, it's
If I'm not mistaken, and tell me I'm wrong if I lay this out incorrectly, but you went out of the country to shoot a TV show for a month, and you were on location.
it's almost 2 months actually. Yeah.
Almost 2 months
Yeah.
in the field, as we call it,
Yeah.
shooting the show. You come back, and if those of you who don't know how TV shows are made, especially the kind that we make, which are reality TV shows, they happen in, and this is pretty much everything that gets filmed. It's 3 phases. All right. You got your pre-production, you got your production, and then you got your post-production.
Right.
So you plan it, you go do it, and then you got all the stuff you recorded and you got to edit it together into a TV show. So you spent 2 months almost in production in the field, shooting the show, shooting the shit, and then you get back here to LA where you have a remote gig in the post-production.
For the same show I
For
shot.
the, for the show you shot your shot, and now you're shooting your shot on the post-production, editing it into a single season of one season of
One
television.
season. One season.
And you guys have been working on that one season of television, which is how many episodes currently is the plan?
Currently,
How many are ordered from the network for the one show?
I'm sure it's fine. I can say this. It was 12 ordered, and we had the reason for my last extension was, I think, because we got a 13th episode approved.
Okay, so it's only 13 episodes. So if you're watching this,
13
don't think
episodes.
sitcom level like 25 fucking episodes. It's
For one
just
season.
a 13 episode season.
Yeah.
Are they 2-hour episodes?
They're They're like 40 to 50 minutes.
13 1-hour episodes of television have taken you guys a year
to just give you an idea of how crazy it's been, like in the journey of like how this is going to turn out. There was a long stretch where we almost had a what do they call it? An extended episode. There's a different word that we
one of them
used.
was going to be longer.
One of them was going to be an hour and a half, or maybe 2 hours. I think the first we were going to make the premiere longer.
And this is a reality show we're talking about. We're not talking about fucking Stranger Things. You guys aren't shooting Game of Thrones in the winter for like a month on one episode. It's not like that.
Yeah.
This is like a show where you go film some people who were gonna do that shit anyway, and then you piece it together to kind of cover it documentary style.
Yeah. But because we film it that way, just because we film it that way, we have way more footage than your typical show.
That's true.
So
lots
that's
to choose from as you build the episode.
Exactly. Okay. And like not just with storylines and what we want to follow and what we want to cut and leave behind, but just with the smaller things of filling in shots and trying to cover stuff. It's like, if you want to cover this scene because we didn't get it in the field, we didn't shoot their reaction or whatever. There's now to find a coverage for that. It's not as simple as just going to the day before.
You got to dig through it. It's very much how it would be to make
hours and hours of footage just to find this one thing where they look where they have the same but you also have to make sure that they are wearing the same outfit, that their hairstyle isn't too much different, and
because
like all
it
that
is documentary style.
Yeah,
and so
it
you
sounds
shoot
fucking terrible.
It really and to give some context, I am currently working in the same amount of time on my 6th season of my show that I work on in a year.
Yeah.
So it's very different.
We
were almost done when you left. That was part of it. I told our viewers when you got back, you'd be fucking done with this show.
Oh, you told? Oh, so
I was like, he's off, but when he gets back, he's going to be done. We'll have more time.
I made you a liar, and I apologize for that.
I appreciate it. That's the least you could do. Goodness gracious.
I'm like 2/3 done with grad school.
She's got an advanced degree in the time that you fucking take to make television over there.
And that, like, for people who don't know, this isn't typical for the length of working on one season.
Yeah,
exactly.
Oh my gosh, who's gonna sign up for that? That's crazy.
This isn't Stranger Things where you get 3 years to shoot fucking 8 episodes or whatever the fuck. Yeah. So, well, glad you're employed. Our rent appreciates you being employed. That's great.
I appreciate it too. Yeah.
We can both say comfortably we're not going back to Dancing with the Stars.
I think so at this point. Yeah, unfortunately.
As it moves on to Disney Plus and they go dancing into the streaming world.
Into the streaming.
Whatever the fuck that's going to be. God bless them. Dancers on the show, we love you very much. Good luck. I hope you all win, even though I know that's not how it works.
Right. We were all winners in the end, though. Speaking
of virality and fan engagement and stuff like that, we had a kind of a big week.
Yeah.
We've been I have the end of this episode, undoubtedly, because I'm not going to make a new one today, is I joke about our views being in the double digits.
Yeah.
And as we were posting videos on the Instagrams, we were getting a few hundred views per clip. Basically, low level shit. We know
Reels.
that we are new. That's the whole point.
Right.
We don't expect it to be a big deal. We're just having fun over here. Last few weeks, I got an email from Instagram basically saying in so many words, we know you love TikTok, so we're going to try to TikTok it up over here for you. We're making Reels our #1 thing. And they gave me like an advice of how to make Reels, which was hilarious because one of the things they said was, people like entertaining content. Try to entertain. Like, are you fucking joking?
Oh my god!
What do you think we're doing over here?
I didn't even know you got that email.
We did. So I started taking a different approach. We started posting a reel a day, and we were getting like 1,000, 2,000 views.
You decided to finally make it entertaining.
Yeah, we decided
Based off
to
of that
start,
email,
yeah,
it was like,
I hadn't thought of it before,
thank
now
you.
I thought, let's entertain people. So we start to do a little entertainment and cut some reels on the regular, and we were getting 2, 3. I think we even got one random clip. It got a 12,000 views, and we were like, "Holy shit, we're big time now! 12,000 views." They put the little K next to our number. Got the K going on over here, and then we had our buddy Erickson over for the last episode.
Right.
Posted one of his clips of him being a little frustrated that the ladies aren't getting down with the Erickson. And, ooh, boy, Instagram had some feelings, some thoughts. We got some comments. I think the last time I checked, we're almost at 140,000 views on that clip. It was like 135 or something.
Wild.
Yeah. 7,000 plus likes, 100 comments and all this stuff. We posted a follow-up to it. That was basically like the second half of that moment, because we were like, but people have responded to this. Maybe they want to see the rest of that kind of brief moment, including your response. That's over 100,000 now. And, you know, and you're in the thumbnail of both of those. That's a key thing, because the 3 videos we posted after that have this asshole in the thumbnail, back to the 2K, back to the 25 hundo if we're lucky. So lesson learned, you know, we need some screaming and we need you on the thumbnail. I think so far I've cracked the code. That's what Instagram considers entertainment.
Okay.
So we'll keep that up.
We'll keep at it and see what happens.
We did get some really interesting comments that I would love to.
Oh, we sure did.
To read. I want to start with one that I got because we've also been posting on YouTube some shorts, you know, because YouTube has its own "We Know You Love TikTok." Here's your 1-minute video shit. I had a bit that I kind of went into a few episodes ago about being a private investigator, and I was talking about how that's my best bet because I'm not going to be a cop or a lawyer.
Right.
And I made a little reel saying, hey, I'm not going to be a cop or a lawyer. And we got this is one of my favorite. We got a comment, and I'm going to read this comment. So if you're watching this now, which you most definitely are not, but if you were to, here's what you said. This is amazing. This is by, I think it's Kalt or Kalt, Kalt twice. I said something about like, if you're I'm not going to be a lawyer because I'm not any good at school, and I'm not going to be a cop because I won't take the oath to respect all the laws. I don't like all the laws. I like some of the laws. So somebody said, cops do not respect all the laws, which is what I fucking said in the video. The other comment we got says, that oath means nothing. All cops are criminals. This is how I heard it in my head, so I'm going to give them the voice I heard. They think they are above the law, and they are right. Go look at the video I posted a few days ago. I didn't do that, buddy. Sorry. Caught it in my dash cam. Another reason I didn't look at it. It's a perfect example of how cops are. He doesn't explain it. He really expects me to go look into it. I am a lawyer. Did not see that coming after the first few things he said. I am a lawyer. Did criminal defense for about 6 years. I used to support law enforcement before that experience. So frustrating and depressing. I started doing other stuff. I would fucking love to know what that is, and they don't tell you. Law school was extremely easy, though. Too easy. That's why there's no way that's true. That's why there are too many lawyers, and you'd be shocked at how dumb a lot of them are. But law school and being a lawyer is truly worthless unless you went to Harvard Law or you have really good connections to get a job at a prestigious firm, in large part because these law schools crank out millions and millions of lawyers. I don't know if overall that number really tracks. Millions and millions? There are only 350 million people in America. We're saying millions and millions of those are lawyers? I don't know. Passing the bar is not hard either. You just take the bar brie class. I don't know. That sounds like a dance thing. You don't even need the knowledge of law school. Someone who graduated law school but didn't take the class is screwed compared to a hypothetical person who never went to... Okay, this is all bullshit.
What does any of that have to do with your clip?
Very little. And then he says, or she maybe, they say, it's the safe word, Fucking credentialism. Occupational licenses should be illegal. This is the best part of the clip of the comment. This is why I'm reading this. Occupational licenses should be illegal. If I want to perform brain surgery for $50 in my garage, that's my fucking right. As long as I don't lie about my credentials. You shouldn't need credentials, but lying about them should still be fraud and a deceptive business practice. They actually have licenses to be a floral arranger. And then he puts in parentheses, making flowers into a bouquet in a vase. Bitch, I know what a florist is. And I have an ex-girlfriend who does it for a living. I don't think she has a license. It's just a way to get the government to ban you. Oh, and then you lost me. So thank you for your engagement. I love that you took the time to hopefully type this on your phone, which took longer than if you'd had a keyboard.
I just have to point out, I looked over, I can see the laptop from where I'm at.
You see the length
and
of it.
I just saw a wall of text. I saw that early on when you were reading.
I didn't read it all.
I was like, oh my God, where is this going? Because it was already hot. And then
I know.
And then I see that there's so much more.
Thoughts on it being legal to perform brain surgery in
why
your
did he use
garage for $50?
Brain surgery, and then his immediate comparison is floral arranger.
Yeah, you need a license to arrange flowers, but I shouldn't need one to. I'm very confused. Please comment more. Please. On this video, on other videos, watch all our videos and tell us your thoughts. Give me your paragraph on each thing, because much like a construction worker, I am riveted. Absolutely.
Wow.
How do you feel about that as someone who's pursuing a license?
I mean, I have my feelings about this is the path for me to become a therapist, but
should you be able to perform it in your garage for $50 with no license?
No.
And just say hey, by the way, before we get started, I don't know what I'm talking about. I didn't go to school or nothing.
Definitely not, but that leads to a point of TikTok and these social media platforms of people preaching if you have these things going on, you probably have ADHD or autism, or
they encourage
they
self-diagnosis.
have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. And then I have 12, 14-year-old clients come in and be like, I think I might be on the spectrum. And I'm like, what? And then I ask them what's going on. And then they're like, I went down this TikTok spiral. And I'm like, TikTok is teaching you this?
What happened to getting your ass kicked by WebMD? Remember how that was the thing that we're oh my God, I gotta go to the hospital. Or you end up like my nephew, God bless him, who's having anxiety problems, but he's so sure he's fucking dying, he keeps going to the ER and racking up ER bills because he's like, oh my God, I have I read it online, so now I know.
But the problem is these people are younger and just seem more relatable and old enough that, these kids are okay, I think I trust you. And they'll make a game out of it. That game where you're you have 10 fingers up, put your finger down if this is happening.
Dancing
this
while they're are you sad?
I hate those videos.
Do you hate your parents?
It's
are you all alone in this life? Is your dog dead? Then you might be fucked,
It's so dangerous. And they don't have fucking credentials, okay?
Yeah.
And I'm working towards that. And I'm it's a lot of work, but it makes sense. If you're going to be in this field, you need to kind of know the basic rules and especially as a social worker, just knowing what that means. Cause a lot of people don't really get what that is.
Yeah.
But 70% of mental health professionals are social workers.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's a big number.
So
wow.
It's a
70?
huge number. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I was in a TED Talk we listened to in class that I've seen more than once.
Which is a terrible argument against what we're saying, because we're we actually should have to go to school. And then you're in school, we just watch TED Talks, which are available online. So it's important to have someone collect those TED Talks for you and tell you the right ones to watch.
Can I just say, though, I think the issue is that he just kind of missed the point of certificates and what they are. To use his example of doing brain surgery in his garage for $50,
which he's done. That's his example because he's like,
Because
I
he's
should be
done
able
it.
to. And if I get one more fucking call from the police about this,
Well, so that's what I was going to say.
it's America last time I checked.
Is he's right. He absolutely has the right to do that. The thing is that the certificate, or I mean, to do brain surgery, you need way more than a certificate.
I think so.
So that's even way beyond
think so.
what point he was trying to make.
Right.
But you can do that. But you are going to get charged for murder
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
Right.
if you
'Cause you're gonna kill
if
him.
you're not a brain surgeon, 100% that person's dead.
Yeah, they're gonna
so,
die.
So the certificate is just to basically, it's not to give you permission to do something. It's to show that you have have the knowledge and the skill to do the thing that you're trying to do, and to give the person proof and trust in you in doing what you're doing.
Right.
I'm not
It
going to
seems-
just. Also, who is paying $50 to get their brain operated on in a garage?
But
Well,
it
there
seems like
already
this-
have been
How is that your last
overcharged for the
choice?
MRI.
It
that
seems like this dude is like, or I don't know who this is, but like,
cult, who's probably in a fucking cult, if we're being honest.
it's like, it's like TV shows. Like I think about The Blacklist and
Okay.
how if someone is like shot or something and they can't go to the doctors,
They
for
have like an underground doctor.
It's like
Yeah.
that shit. It's like
Yeah.
if you get caught, you're fucked.
Right.
But you can still do it.
On Better Call Saul, they take him to the vet.
But even those doctors have training and experience.
Yeah, they're doctors. They're at least
They're
they got
doctors.
fired from something and they're not allowed to practice anymore, but at least they did
So he's
initially
saying
learn the
like
skill
as
set.
a lawyer, you can do brain surgery in the garage.
Because you
That's
heard what he
that's
said. He said, I
absurd.
quit being a lawyer to do other stuff. What do you think the fucking other? I don't think he's arranging flowers. I think this guy's doing fucking brain surgery in
100%.
fucking Flagstaff,
Oh no.
pretending like this is not a thing. Should we start the show?
Yeah. Start the show.
Start the fucking show, baby.
Vibing and thriving, vibing and thriving, vibing and thriving, vibing and thriving. I'm excited now.
Fuck that. Suck that. Fuck that. Suck that. Fucking nuts.
Hello?
Hey, sorry, I get wrapped up and get
The
really
awesome
that
song
song.
you
Yeah, it
wrote.
gets in it. Yeah, well, when you make it's kind of like weed. Like when you grow your own weed, nothing smokes as good as your own.
Sure.
And it's the same thing with my music. That of course I do not have a license or degree to create. But I should be allowed to for
Whoa.
$50 in my fucking garage. I want to get into something that has come up a lot for us in the past few weeks, and I think we'll start it off. But after we kind of get into it, would love your thoughts, Kyle. It's this concept that is so pervasive in almost everything that we watch. It keeps coming up. Like we watch TV shows where you see people in our real lives, and we have our
Mhm.
families, and all these different situations. And I've kind of looked at all of this objectively and kind of drawn this conclusion. One of the things I think that makes us who we are as people is that we reject the impulse to shame other people for their behavior.
Yes.
Like, and the only time, I mean, we're about to shame the fuck out of people who shame people. So ironically, we do a
Hey.
little bit.
Yeah.
Karma, though.
But I'm going to
It's-
do it generally. I'm going to do it very generally, and I'm not going to say like you do this and you do this, because when you get to a specific basis, you start talking about a single person, you get into the dynamics of why they do it. You start to feel sympathy for them on a personal basis. You're like, well, the way they were raised, or their culture, or their maturity, or whatever they got going on. But it's a very interesting thing for me because you and I have encountered this a lot in our real lives, but we also watch it happen when we watch like TV shows, specifically like reality TV shows. There is a thing that happens for so many people where they see someone else doing a thing or saying a thing and it affects them. That makes sense. But then their next jump in logic is I need to go to that person and I need to let them know that what they did affected me negatively and put put the responsibility on them to change their behavior so that I can be more comfortable or more happy or more whatever.
Or stay in that person's life.
Or stay in their life. Well, but that then becomes the consequence, right? I go to you and I say, you did X, it made me feel Y. And if you don't either stop doing it or apologize or whatever, if you don't take it back, we're done. Like, well, I can't have you in my life anymore.
Yeah.
And I understand the concept of harming someone. That's not what I'm talking about. So let's put this in some real terms so it's not so abstract. Let's just talk about you and me, right? Let's say I'm going to talk about crazy shit that would never happen just to make a point. Let's say one day you get mad at me, you slap me in the face. I'm not going to be like, I don't think it's unfair for me to go to you and be like, you slap me in the face anymore and we're done.
Mm-hmm.
Like that might be something that's fair. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like you wear a shirt that I don't like because it reveals your body or because it says something on it that I don't like, or you start using a word that I don't agree with, or you make some choice in your life that's only about fucking you. And then I go to you and I say, Candace, if you don't stop wearing that shirt, I don't know if I can have you in my life anymore. Like if you're going to support that candidate, I don't know if I can like you anymore. If you're going to live your life XYZ, and the main one that I go to, because, you know, I'm not gay, but I am bisexual. I never really came out to my parents about that. I don't really talk to them about it. But I think about growing up in the theater and going to art school and especially working in television. I have so many gay friends. I work on a TV show that covers gay people's stories very often. And so I'm regularly involved in conversations about coming out. Not an expert in it. I haven't had to do it myself. But it is the greatest, most simple example, I think, to understand what we're talking about. Gay person comes out to their family. Family's like, if you're going to make that choice, we can't have you at church. We can't have you at the dinner table. We can't have you in the house. We won't talk to you, whatever. When them being gay doesn't affect the people other than shame. Because they have shame about it. They're like, you can't come to the church because if you sit next to me, the other people across the aisle are going to be like, look, they support the gays.
It's shame and judgment.
Shame and judgment. And you and I, to go back to my point and why I brought this up, that we can recall, I want to be open-ended, but I'm pretty confident, have never made that connection in our heads of, oh, your behavior that only concerns you leads me to insist that you change that behavior or fuck you. I'm either going to block you out or I'm going to bitch you out. I'm going to do whatever. And we got a lot of that in our lives. We have a lot of people, and I don't want to get specific. Like I said, I'm not here to shame people. I want to speak generally because I don't want to participate in this shit. But it is really tough when someone comes to you. You've had multiple, way more than me. You've had multiple friendships end. And you can be specific if you want about the circumstances while not identifying them, where they came to you and they're like, Candace, if you're going to keep doing this thing that, if we're being honest, does not affect them at all, I can't have you in my life. And twice it was because of me. Two of those friends left your life and said, I'm not going to be friends with you anymore because of your relationship to what ended up being your husband.
Yeah.
So I've been talking for too long. Tell me about how that makes you feel. You have more of it in your life than I do. You've dealt with it a lot. You know, a little bit in your family, again, not being specific, but with these friends who have canceled your friendship over if you don't shame your life. And as we talked about it, you've evolved on this because you used to kind of be like, oh shit, should I change? And now you're like, get the fuck out of here. Am I wrong?
No, you're totally right. This has definitely happened to me like multiple times. And I guess fortunately, which is kind of fucked up, it gets easier each time. But, you know, it still affects me. And it's one of those things where like you hope to get to a place when you're talking to someone who doesn't see something the same way as you do. You'll come to an agreement of like, we'll agree to disagree and then just go our separate ways. and be cordial and just, remain in each other's lives.
Maybe some distance. Maybe it won't be as close as we were because this
Sure.
is a tough thing.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to kick you out of my life.
Yeah. And like that has happened to me multiple times and I
Yeah.
don't get it.
I can think of 3 friends off the top of my head that you've had that have been like, I'm out.
Yeah. And 2 of them were originally in my bridal party.
Yeah, I was
They
going
were,
to say,
like,
I think that you have
close friends of mine.
We had an episode.
Covered some of it,
Yeah, we
yeah.
had an episode where we talked about this in a more abstract way. But I think it's fascinating that we've identified for us that we just don't think like that. So
yeah, but then
fundamentally.
I had another friend who I haven't talked to in years.
Right.
But she's someone I grew up with and she was like in and out of my life. And then she like messaged me when she moved back to LA because she was away for a little while. And then we became close again. We were like partying, going to bars downtown, like just having a lot of fun. But it was never a friendship where I could like fully be vulnerable, talk about like real shit. It just felt very like shallow and like she's someone I like to party with. And like that was just kind of what it was. And I didn't want to accept it for a long time. So like the longer the friendship continued, I realized when I would drop little like serious life shit, like she would either not know what to do with it. She would like try to convince me to do something else. Like it was never supportive. It was always like, you should be doing this. And I'm like, who are you to tell me what to do? Like your life is not great right now, which I don't, want to judge her for that. But like, it's one of those things where I got to a place where I was like, you're telling me your mental health is negatively affecting you based off of my personal choices. Like the concept of that is so crazy to me because why is someone else's life affecting you so much to the point where it's like affecting your mental health? Like
to clarify too, just sorry,
Sure.
but like
You're allowed to talk. We give you a microphone.
Yes. I just didn't want to interrupt. But I'm just saying to clarify what you're saying. It's personal choices that don't affect them because they're choices that don't involve them.
Right.
Right. But in
That's
their
the
mind,
crazy thing.
In their mind, it's like
It does.
you're
Right.
ruining your life. Like I'm the good friend telling you red flags, warning signs, like don't do this thing or continue this thing. And it's like, I'm a grown up. I can decide what's best for me. The same conflicts with people in my family. Like when I moved to New York, that was even like a mixed, response of like support and also like, why would you do that? What are you going to do there? And for me, I was like, this is the first time in my life where I'm going to like leave as an adult and like be out of the family unit and figure out who I am. And that was really important to me because I felt like I didn't really have like my individuality.
Right.
Because being here, I'm from LA. I've been here like almost my whole life. My whole family lives here. Like it's very much family oriented.
Right.
And the move to New York was like, I'm going to figure some shit out on my own. I love you guys. I don't know when I'm going to come back, but I need this for me.
Do you think, and this just occurred to me, do you think there are people in your family and maybe even people watching this or not family watching this, but like people generally who might catch this feeling, which is like, why do you need to establish such a different individual thing? Like be part of the family. Your role is the daughter. Your role is the sister. Your role is the cousin, the niece, the whatever. That's who you are.
Yeah.
They're the dad, they're the mom, they're the brother, you're the sister. That's you. There's your identity. You got it.
Right.
And you're like, I need to go off somewhere else and become a new, different thing that's totally individual, that's unique, that's unto myself, that I have ownership over. And do you think there's a chance that some people are like, okay, but I don't see why you need that?
Yeah.
You say it to
totally.
me and you and I, that hits my brain like, fuck yeah. You need to do that. You've got to get out and be your own person. But I think a lot of people out there like, why do you have such a need to like run in the woods and paint yourself red and be weird. Like, why don't you just stay here and behave yourself and like do the regular right thing?
I mean, it's a cultural thing. That's definitely a big part of it. And I guess like growing up, I didn't realize how special it was, like how my family was, just everyone living local, seeing them like weekly, maybe monthly dinners. Like that was very much my upbringing until now. Like, so
I didn't grow up like that at all.
So the idea of like, we have this thing going on, we've had it going on for years, and no one
has felt the need to break away and do their own thing. And here you are, after we've worked so hard. It's like, it's kind of like, I think about Pleasantville, a movie that we just watched. I've seen 1 billion times. You just saw for the first time.
Yeah.
And then Reese Witherspoon raises her hand and she's like in class, like, okay, you get to the end of Main Street. Like what happened? Like what's outside of Pleasantville? And everyone turns their head like, what the fuck are you saying right now?
Right.
Like, why would you even think like, and then of course that trickles and they start to go, what the fuck is outside? But their initial reaction is like, but this is such a great place.
Like, why would you leave?
Yeah, we have everything we need. Why would you
and it's
complain about this?
And to be fair, like growing up, I was pretty introverted and shy. And so even though I was like a very curious and like observant person, I never like spoke out about it.
Right.
It was all internal. And so when I got
You're just churning.
Yeah. So when I got to an age where I was like, I want to do something different. Like this is not what I want to do right now. My family was kind of like, why? Like, you know, and
it feels like a shot to everything they built for you.
Right.
Because they're like, we worked so hard to create Pleasantville for you. Why do you want to leave?
Right.
Like, that's like a little bit without them wanting to be rude. They're like, fuck you. Like, why would you do this? Like, I built a beautiful house for you to live in. And you're like, well, it's a nice house. I think I'm going to go get my own apartment. And they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I think it's because it never occurred to them one day Candace might not want to do this.
Yeah.
They just never thought of that.
And starting 2020, when my grandma passed away, that was a big, difference in our family dynamic because she was always the glue of the family of like, we're getting together every Saturday for dinner, like whatever it is. And when she passed, like, that kind of stopped happening, obviously the pandemic, but like now it's 2 years later and there's still people in my family who like, don't want to meet up, going through their own stuff.
They almost felt like her death released them from the obligation of having to do the thing every week or every month.
Yeah. And it was like really bizarre for me because it was like the longest time I hadn't seen one of my family members since I was alive. So I was like, what is happening? But then now I'm thinking like, they just want to do their own thing and it's totally fine.
They always did, or at least at some point they were done with that shit, but they kept doing it because of the obligation.
Right. But then the other person, it was not that reaction. So it just depends on the person.
Again, and individualism.
Right. And for me, like I wanted to live somewhere else. I didn't want to be in the comfort zone. I left you. I left the family. I left everything I know to be in this new place that I actually love. Like had a great time for the 5 months I was there. But it was just like the number one question was, why are you going there?
Right.
Like everything's good here. Like, why are you like, what's the point?
I just recorded this morning a new episode of my old podcast that I'm bringing back at the Elephants. And that was one of the big themes that we talked about. That nomadic spirit, that curiosity, I think you got it or you don't. And I think it happens young. I don't know what does it. Obviously, for example, your brother went to college in Irvine. He loves living here. We've talked to him about like, he don't want to go anywhere else. He can't imagine himself living anywhere else in his whole life.
Right.
You've been like, I want to go to college in San Francisco. I want to move to New York. We talked about moving to Austin for a little bit during the pandemic. And that wasn't like oh my God, what am I going to do? You're like, oh, Austin might be fun. We spent more time there and kind of both decided that wasn't for us. But
Colorado.
we talk about Colorado.
Yeah.
We hate the idea of being in the same place forever. at least just giving ourselves the freedom to go, one day we'll live somewhere else is like comforting to know that there's other stuff coming. And I don't know what causes it. I don't know what gives someone that thing. Because again, you and your brother are very close in age. You grew up in the same home with the same family, doing the same shit all the time. You ended up that way. He ended up this way. Maybe that's part of it. Maybe it's just like being next to him and seeing the way he sees it. You kind of go as the younger child. No, I want to not do that. I want to do this. Like, who knows? I'm not. You're trying to figure out the brain. That's not my thing. But it's fascinating to me, those people who have that nomadic spirit. And to tie this into another subject that were talking about the other day, because it came up on Bill Maher, we were watching Real Time. And this is a tough thing for me because I don't want to upset people, because that's not the point of this show. We're trying to have a good time, but I definitely have strong feelings about this, because if you don't know, if you're watching this, I used to be very overweight. That was a big part of my childhood, into my early 20s. To this day, I definitely have issues where I get insecure. I work as hard as I can, I feel like, to at least maintain. I never have been like, I want to be jacked, but I've always been, since I've not been fat, I'm like, I don't want to be fat again. And that's a me choice. I don't care what anybody else does. I really don't. You could be fat, be skinny, be ripped, whatever. Because again, it doesn't involve me. So I don't give a shit. Do whatever you want. I would never shame you about it. I make jokes for the sake of, I love jokes. So if I'm ever shaming someone in a joke because I'm trying to make people laugh, just because I'm trying to make people laugh, it's not because I'm trying to shame. I don't give a fuck if you're fat or not. However, I agree with Bill Maher and several other people. It's not always people you want to align yourself, but Rogan says this, other people who have this opinion, which is like, we've gone from fat acceptance, which is great. You got to accept people, because people are overweight for all sorts of different reasons. It could be a personal choice. It could be they have an addictive behavior towards food. It could be they don't know about nutrition. It could be they have a fucking thyroid problem or a hormone imbalance. Like, there's a billion reasons why people are overweight. But we have gone in our society in the hard swing into this kind of, I don't even want to assign it to anything, but this hard swing into like celebration of being overweight, which is by and large, maybe bad expression, a bad fucking way to live your life health-wise. It is just not healthy. Is it possible to be a little overweight and still be a pretty healthy person? Sure. Are most people who died from COVID overweight? Yeah. Overweight or old or smoking or drinking or doing other shit that's not fucking healthy. And at one point it's acceptance, and then another point it's into enabling. I would never go to my friend or my nephew who has a drug addiction and be like, go, dude, it's you. Live your life your way. Right. I know you almost die on a regular basis trying to get with this thing that makes you feel good.
But good for you, man.
Yeah, but good for you. You know, we all live our lives different ways. No, we're going to try to intervene to save his life because we give a shit about him having a future. And it's not about me going, your shit is actually affecting me negatively and I don't need that, so you need to change your behavior. It's not that. It's, I care about you. I'm concerned about your health. I'm not shaming you or judging you. I'm trying to offer help.
Right.
And the thing that drives me fucking mad about this movement, I don't even really give a fuck that they celebrate the fat. I think it's kind of wrong, but I don't give a shit. The problem I have is then the other side of shaming, where if I insist that it's unhealthy to be fat most of the time, or if I make a joke about being fat, even though I was fat for a long fucking times, my people we're talking about here, that I'm the asshole.
Right. Which
is crazy. That's absolutely, I am not the asshole for saying out loud that being overweight is not healthy for you. It isn't. It is medically not true. And that goes into the whole thing that we've talked about outside of just the, hey, I got to cut you out of my life. This thing that happens on social media, and God forbid, sometimes in person, where people are like, wow, I can't believe you're not being more vocal about this thing. Where's your post on Instagram about the shooting? Where's your comment about this national conversation? One of the things that I hate is when there's like a school shooting. I'll see people online being like, can't believe you would promote your comedy show on Instagram on a day like this. Like they don't have a fucking comedy show tonight. The kids getting shot didn't change that. And we don't need to cancel the whole fucking world because that happened. First of all, we might need a laugh tonight. There's a bunch of dead kids on the ground. That's fucked up. Let's all try to fucking feel something else for the day.
Yeah, like didn't SNL still go ahead with their show immediately after 9/11?
Oh, well, 9/11 was a very interesting thing because I definitely was old enough to remember that shit. And there were a lot of things that canceled that were like, we're just not going to perform tonight. David Cross has the best bit about it. He's like,
that's an extreme example. I'm just saying that to your point of like, maybe we need to be able to laugh and kind of like,
or maybe we just need to also have a full life that doesn't revolve around the deaths of children in Uvalde. Do I think that's fucked up?
Yeah.
Do I personally think we need to adjust our gun laws? Yeah, sure. But what is me yelling that to the 1,500 people who barely follow my Instagram? Like, what good is that doing anybody? Like, we're all loud as fuck every time one of these things happens, you know, but going on a 15-story rant about how Kim Kardashian needs to be more transparent about her surgeries so that little girls don't feel insecure about their bodies. How about those little girls' parents teach them not to focus on what Kim's doing? Who gives a fuck? It doesn't involve you. She's a rich chick who wants to look a certain way, so she spends money and time looking a certain way, period. It doesn't matter. You don't need to look like her. And I heard someone say recently, you know, these young women are seeing Kim post all this stuff and she's like, look, I have this BMI, or look, my waist is this size. And then they go home and they do what they saw her allegedly do. They don't see the same results. And then they think, oh my God, I must be fucked up. I must be broken. No, not necessarily. Yeah, it might be the surgery she got or whatever, or the Botox she got that you didn't get, or it might be your genes. She's like genetically a pretty good looking person before she started all the shit. She started off at a good level. There's lots of people, and I'm sorry to break this to you folks, there's lots of people born ugly, and you can only smooth out ugly so much. You could do all the right stuff and you're still going to be a little goofy looking. That may not be your thing. Learn a joke. That's what I did. You know what I mean? I don't go and look at fucking Chris Hemsworth and Thor and then walk home being like, this bullshit, man, these unfair standards about men. He's playing a god, a fucking literal god. He needs to look a certain way. I am not going to get cast as a god. And I made my peace with that some time ago, even though I lost the weight. Develop another part of your personality.
But I think the idea of body positivity has been such a term for some time now, and still is, I'm sure. But in my program, we're kind of moving away from that and calling it body neutrality. Great. Which I think is
we shouldn't
so much
be
better.
Just relentlessly positive when shit is fucked up.
Yeah.
Like you don't see someone all strung out on heroin and like, you look great.
Right.
Wow, what are you doing? I got to do what you do. Like, why are we bullshitting people?
Yeah.
The dishonesty is the worst part, and the hypocrisy. It drives me insane because it's one thing for me to make a joke that maybe is in poor taste and me to go, okay, maybe that wasn't the best thing. Or I was just trying to make a joke. My effort wasn't to hurt someone or to down the movement. I was just trying to make people laugh. Whatever. We can all do that. It's another thing to cause harm for real in the name of you being the justice warrior.
Mm-hmm.
You're the one saying like, I'm doing the right thing and you're not. And it's like, you sound like an asshole. That's the truth of what's going on. Let's not muddy the waters. And then they walk around being the hero. It's the same people that say like, silence is violence. Violence is violence. Let's be fucking clear about that. Silence is this. That wasn't violent. You notice nothing violent happened? Because that's not how it fucking goes. This isn't the Holocaust. We're not Anne Frank in the attic situation here. It's not the same fucking thing. And you have that issue all the time when you're like, why I look on social media on a certain day, and then you said you've gotten like DMs or you've had people comment before that like you weren't posting stuff or you weren't participating in some loud movement and you get like
and
shamed for
me,
that.
it's like, I'm going to social work. Like,
She's doing her fucking part. What do you want her to do?
And that's the thing. Like, people are doing it in other ways. Some people are donating to charity and not loudly posting about it. Like, there are other ways
Right.
to advocate and to, you know, do something.
Yeah.
And yeah, I agree with you. There's just too much of this shaming of like whatever, you know, people think is like the right thing. It's still your opinion if it's right or wrong. Like,
Yeah. It's
like
an opinion either
sharing
way.
a black square or like,
Yeah.
you know, just, and in our program, we talk about how like, you know, these shootings and everything, it's so horrific, but it's fucked up, but it's become part of our society. And like, we can't just sit at home and just twiddle our thumbs. Like, we still have to go to work. We have to go to school.
Right.
Like, the world continues and we can't live in this constant, like, just everything pauses when a horrific thing happens.
Right.
We'd be on
Unless
pause
it's-
forever.
Yeah, unless it's fucking COVID. Like, the beginning of COVID, at least.
And when things get that serious and when big things happen like that, great. But again, like the shame that was going around about people not getting vaccinated, and then they lump the people who don't get vaccinated in with, you must have voted for Trump, you piece of shit. It's like everyone wants to be on the winning team. Everyone wants to point out everyone who's not on the winning team. And then to make it all worse, as if that wasn't bad enough, they pat themselves on the back in this kind of unconscious way, as if they're the ones doing the good work.
Right. And then the biggest thing that gets me so upset is when they use religion as an excuse.
Oh my God.
Like, that's a segment for another time. But just the idea of like, you're going to this place where they say, love your neighbors, like everyone, you know, be good, like all these good things. And then they live out in the world, like judging people, shaming them, cutting people out of their lives.
They're mad gossipy
For
at church.
what? For what?
Yeah.
Like, what are you listening to at the place where you're, you know, celebrating this religion and then living out in the world and doing the opposite? Like,
well,
I
unless
don't
you're an
get it.
extremist, and I'm not a religious scholar by any means. I grew up in the church myself, left it
Mhm.
pretty early. I've done a lot of studying of religion, but again, not a scholar, not an expert. Unless you're in a real extremist situation, almost every religion is like, we're all God's children.
Mhm.
We're together in this. We're brothers and sisters in this life of
We help
trying to
each
be
other.
good people and help
Yeah.
each other out. That's really what's at the basis at a lot of shit. And then so many people are like, this is a great opportunity to point out who's not one of God's children. You're one of Satan's children, you little piece of shit.
And like, full disclosure, I grew up very religious.
Right.
Like, grew up in the church. I was in a Korean Christian choir for
when we
12
first got together,
years.
you weren't sure about evolution.
Yeah, I was very much like, I don't want to say brainwashed. That's harsh. But
I'll say it.
there are a lot of things that I've grown away from.
There you go.
And
Evolved on.
sure.
Yeah. You like that?
And the fact that I feel like I'm a pretty good person, like I still in my everyday life do think about the things I learned, you know, growing up in the church.
Right.
But
I
there are
feel the same
also
way.
things that I feel the opposite about, and that's okay. But I don't live in a world where I'm like judging my neighbors and shaming people and like, you know, like I don't understand how we got to a place where religion equals, you know, all these positive things for the most part. And then as a society, it's like fucked up and terrible. Like,
Yeah.
I just don't get it.
Yeah, I think we've all vented a little here and gotten out the frustration. And I'll say on a more positive note in a more positive note to kind of tie it all together. You know, we started off by saying like we don't shame and judge people, and like I said, we're about to, and we kind of did, but we're shaming the shamers, we're judging the judgers, because that is super harmful behavior. But again, at the end of the day, I got a libertarian mindset about it. Just leave me the fuck alone. Let me do what I want to do. I know I'm, you know, and we've talked about this before. If you and I really don't anymore. I consider myself this way for a while, but I think you, some other people that I know, have what they used to call transcendentalist relationship with God. You know, Thoreau, Emerson. These guys were like, look, I'm religious. I love God. I have a great relationship with God. I pray. I believe in teachings. But leave me the fuck alone. Don't tell me what to do. I'm not going to your fucking meetings. I don't want to, you know, I may not agree with every rule in the book, or like, don't work on Sunday. I got shit to do. Fuck you. I'm doing what I want to do. Let me have my own personal relationship with God.
Mhm.
And I think with that, with religion, with the fat thing, with all of this stuff, to each your own. Do whatever you want. Do whatever the fuck you want. I don't give a shit. I'm not going to pretend that unhealthy shit is healthy. I'm not going to pretend that fucked up shit is okay if I'm asked about it, but I'm not going to go out of my way to be like, hey, everybody, can you fucking knock it off? Other than to say, stop shaming people. Stop judging. Just mind your fucking business.
Hell yeah.
And teach your kids not to let how Kim Kardashian or Sydney Sweeney or somebody who's built a very special, specific kind of way, teach them that has nothing to do with them. Like, judge yourself on yourself. I look at old fat pictures of me, and then I look at me now, and I'm like, way to go, man. Looking good. I feel good. I see myself naked. I don't hate myself. If I start to, I'll go for a jog. Like, you know, like just take care of you. And go get your blood work and find out if you're healthy. And when your doctor's like, cholesterol's a little high, you're 30 pounds overweight, take that shit seriously. You don't need to go home and yas girl yourself. And, you know, anyway, point made. Let's move on. I want to talk about my favorite TV show this week, because this is what we do. Nathan Fielder's The Rehearsal. The best television show that's ever been made. It's so fucking good. I actually recorded our reactions to the most recent episode.
That was fun.
And we're going to take a look at that with no context.
Cool.
Just the reactions right now.
Okay, cool. Random student to an hour. An actor, I need to personal conversation. Okay, that's it. But I relived the day from Thomas's perspective. It proved my instincts to be right. Thomas? I think maybe I got nothing to worry about.
The look on his face, dude.
Okay, is that true? I had just sent these actors off to work for an entire week with someone else. Yeah.
Because he's playing the primary, but Nathan's playing
Right,
the
but
right.
fantasy, his character. I will be her into mine.
What the fuck? What? That's a lot of stuffed animals, dude. Oh shit.
What's going on?
Holy shit. What the fuck? That was fucking trippy, dude.
What a trippy show, babe. Is that it?
Dude, what? How is that the fucking end of the episode? Hell of a reaction, wasn't it? You gotta go. Don't you want to feel what you just saw? Watch the fucking rehearsal. We're really excited about. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail this week about it. I just want to mention something that's pretty exciting. We watched episode 4 of the show, and it did. Well, we kind of knew because of the teaser at the end of 3, but it got into the process of them hiring the actors that participate in the rehearsals.
Yeah.
And so exciting. I think we mentioned this last time. One of your friends who you met hand modeling got cast as one of the actors on the show.
Yeah.
And got to do the show. We reached out to her.
Yeah.
We're going to wait till the whole season airs, but we're going to have her on as a guest, hopefully, in a few episodes to talk about her experience working on the greatest show in the history of television. And I can already tell a little bit by her in the episode, but also based on what you said her responses were, I don't think she's going to like the show as much as I do. I don't think a lot of people are going to appreciate the show as
Sure.
much as I do. But I will say this show is definitely getting people's attention way more than Nathan For You did.
Mhm.
It really is attracting. I've been seeing memes about it. I've been seeing great reviews on it. And frankly, I get emotional. I don't know if you saw in the clip that I showed of our reactions, but that's not fake. That is
Right.
fully my real reactions. And I am like, I was almost moved to tears in the last episode. I get choked up watching it.
Yeah.
It's a fucking comedy show. It's supposed to be funny, and it is hilarious. But man, it is going
yeah.
so deep into like human
Very
psychology.
intense moments.
What do you think about this? Because we've talked about, and we haven't brought this up yet. I mean, we brought it up, but we didn't talk about it. What they're doing is a lot like play therapy, which you've talked about, like role-playing therapy.
Yeah, role play. Play is different.
Okay. That's
Play
like
therapy
sexual?
is more play
Oh.
therapy is for kids, like coloring, painting, sandbox.
That could be, anyway.
So that's not the right term,
so-
but role playing.
Yeah,
sure.
role-playing. Let's talk about something that's never associated with sex.
Yeah, I was just saying that both of these are a little
Yeah.
questionable.
So, okay,
Both?
so both of them. BOLTH. So here's the thing.
God damn it.
Yep, you said it. So you said this show is basically role play therapy. It's close to it, where
Yeah.
for the sake of therapy, not entertainment,
Yeah.
you take on the roles of other people in your client's life that they're going to have to maybe have difficult conversations with or whatever, and you kind of act it out.
Mm.
You being not an actor, how do you feel about, would you ever do that? Or do you feel comfortable like improving as a character, like with your clients? Is that something you would ever utilize in your work?
I want to say yes, but probably no.
You're intimidated by the idea of having to be someone else for them?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like that.
What is your take on what Nathan might be doing to these people psychologically by putting them in such an immersive rehearsal process for their real life? Especially episode
Yeah.
3.
I mean, personally, I think it's a really fucking cool experience because how many people out there are going to get something like that? You
Right.
know, like, especially when the stakes are so high in these rehearsals.
You need a motherfucking HBO budget to accomplish it.
Yeah. And it's like, I can imagine psychologically, like, having that experience and then having future difficult conversations and not having that opportunity to do something. I don't know if it's like positive or negative, but just the idea of like, it's so ingrained, every little detail, every step. And like the next uncomfortable or difficult conversation you don't have any of that.
Right.
Like, what do you do?
Yeah.
Like, is that person overthinking everything now? Are they a little calmer because they had that crazy experience? Like, that's something I'm interested in. Like, I wish I can interview one of the people that like are in their immersive.
But babe, without being unfair to these people, the people he cast as the people to go through the rehearsals, like the
Yeah.
normal people playing themselves, they're not totally normal people. They're a little loose. They're a little like, someone who is really particularly sharp and clever. I don't know if they would
It would
cast
work
them.
out.
I don't know. I mean,
Mm.
with this, I don't want to make up my mind because this show keeps subverting my expectations and being like, whoa, wait, what the fuck? That's
Yeah.
the show.
Yeah.
And one of the things I love about the show is each episode he goes, I realized in the last rehearsal that this wasn't as far as I could have gone with this. So this
Right.
time I decided to up the ante because I noticed that this person wasn't getting the full experience. Like every
Right,
rehearsal he goes
yeah.
through, he's like, if I were to go back and do it again, I would have rather found a way for them to experience X.
Right.
And so
And
he
the
finds a new
really-
way to do it.
The really fascinating thing about Nathan as him is like he will have these realizations of like maybe we should, next time go with emotions or like different things that as he's doing the rehearsal, he's like, I kind of miss that. I should change that. His tone stays the same for every situation.
He's got a very, I want to call it Bo Burnham, Andy Kaufman style
Mhm.
approach to creation, which is you don't know what the fuck he's really thinking.
Yeah.
He is not. Some people are like, he's kind of hard to read. Nathan Fielder is impossible to read. You don't know what he's giving you.
Yeah.
You
and
don't know
then,
if it's real or if this is him showing like he's faking it. Like there's so many
Right.
layers of subterfuge happening.
but the coolest moment for me in episode 4, without spoiling anything, was that being different. Like he
broke his normal
Yeah.
character.
yeah, there was something else happening, and it's like
Yeah.
really shocking.
He responds to, but he had to have known, and the way that it rolls out, he knew that was going to take place. But he's performing for the chick who's in the rehearsal,
Right.
and he's laid a completely monotone. This is who I am. He's actually on Bob's Burgers, so he's not this character, but he sounds a lot like Tina. The actor who plays Tina, Dan Mintz, and
Yeah.
Nathan Fielder have very similar like
yeah.
monotone tones of voice. And even when they get excited, it's like this. And then they get a little bit down like
And
this.
I talk about how like when I'm excited about something, sometimes it doesn't sound like I'm excited because I don't
Right.
change like my intonation. But with Nathan, like anything he says, it's the fucking same.
Yeah.
And it's yeah.
It's fucking well, and it gives him this genius level of control over the entire situation because
Yeah, and the coolest part though is that in episode 4 when they have the acting class and the actors are there,
right.
he keeps saying like I'm not an actor, but he definitely is an actor. Like he just doesn't think.
He is capable of acting, I would say,
Sure.
but I wouldn't call him an actor.
But
I
he
mean,
doesn't I don't think he gives himself enough credit.
yeah, but a lot of people do that too when that's not their main thing. I used to direct all the time in a big like in theater, and when I would direct theater, my actors sometimes I would, to show them what I was going for, not give them line readings, but kind of like get in the scene with them and be the other person and maybe
okay.
improv.
Yeah.
Improv is
Because you're comfortable with that.
yeah, I would improv.
I'm not.
Right. I would improv scenes with them and fake scenarios. And I would regularly get comments from actors I really respect who were like, dude, you're like really good at acting. Like, why don't you do this? And I'm like, because I don't consider myself an actor. I'm like, I can act just like I can play the guitar. I could do stand up. I'm not great at these things, but I know how to do it in service of something else because that's what I'm trying to accomplish.
Sure.
And I think that's true about Nathan Fielder. He can perform.
Yeah.
If anything, his strongest skill is improvising. Like he can be funny in a moment where he doesn't know what's going to happen. He can be convincing in a moment where he doesn't know what all the lines are going to be. But even when you think he's improving, sometimes on the show, he shows you the scene where he rehearsed for that moment. And you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Check it out. The Rehearsal.
The Rehearsal, HBO, Nathan Fielder. And hopefully we'll have your friend Ashley on the show in a while when we want to make sure the show is fully wrapped so that all the twists and turns are out there and we're not outing anything. Also want to respect her NDA. I hate NDAs and what they keep us from talking about, but this is like an NDA for working at a magic company. Like you need them because you're going to fucking spoil the fun of all of it. So,
and we're hoping, I haven't asked Ashley yet, but just if she became friends with anyone else.
yeah, we're going to dive deeper and
we're very invested.
This is basically just the rehearsal reaction podcast at this point. This is the majority of what we're doing over here. Kyle, I think we have time for one of the games that you've been holding on to for a while. I was thinking maybe the best one, since we don't have we don't have the ability to look at anything right this second. Could we maybe do the reality game? The one where you have different reality shows and we guess if it's real. Is that one ready?
It is ready, and I'd have to log into my email, but
okay.
I had made it specifically for when we had a guest that was involved in reality TV.
We can always save it.
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
We could.
We
do
don't
it.
have
No,
to
I'm saying
do
we
that,
could do
but,
it
like-
now, and then we can play the game again with them. Us already knowing the answers.
Oh,
Like Tom Segura plays Black or Tom often, or Tom or Black, I think it's called.
I don't know.
He does. That's the game where Tom Segura has people guess based on audio clues whether the recording is of a black person or him. Yeah, it's really hard. He's very good, but we could easily just do that and we could know the answers ourselves
We
and
could.
kind of
And
have
I
fun
also-
with them not knowing it.
I also, just to like keep it compact, I made. I think I have less than 10, but I had a lot of other ones that could have gone into it, so I could always just use different things as well, because there are so many.
Email, my dude.
There are so many options. Hold on, I am doing that right now.
I'll cut out this boring section. In fact, while you're doing this, I'm going to get my water. This episode of We Are New is brought to you by Wombs to Go. Wombs to Go, furniture for fetuses. Your baby doesn't have to be uncomfortable just because it's inside you. You can get all sorts of things going out. We have pull-out couches that don't pull out. We have twin beds for actual twins. Also available is the 1970s placenta lamp. Floats around in there. Go retro in utero. Wombs to Go, furniture for fetuses.
Okay, so what's the game again?
Yeah,
What
So
are we
basically,
doing?
so I
Kyle.
have a list of 10 reality shows,
Okay.
and I don't even remember how many of them are fake. So we're gonna find out together as I read them. I do know which ones are real and which ones aren't. I just
Okay,
don't remember.
that's important for you to administer the
I
game.
do. Yeah, I know which ones are real and which are. I just don't remember how many of them. I'll remember as I'm reading them, but I don't remember how many of them I made up.
But you do legitimately know which ones are fake and which ones aren't?
Yeah, because the ones that are fake,
You made up?
I made up. I think there might be one that I like copied from a show or something. Or I don't even think I put those on the. I have more that are either made up reality shows within a show or something.
Got it.
That like
Fame or Shame.
yeah from but I don't think I put any of those on this list because I know that you know a lot of the ones that I would probably be listing.
do. All right. So
So yeah, the ones that are on, I'm going through right now, and yeah, the ones that are on this list that are made up, I made up.
Is this a buzzer situation or like?
no. You know what we should do? Hand me a pen, Kyle, and I'm gonna write down our answers,
I
and then we'll
have
go
it.
through them.
Have a pen.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
My bad.
No, you're good. We got a good team going on over here. So we'll just number it 1 to 10.
Actually, I already have a 1 to 10 list here, and then I will also mark. Do you want to know right off the bat, or just
No, I want to do
Yeah.
them all and then go
Great.
back through.
So I'll mark on mine whether you got it or you didn't.
And we can have separate answers.
What is the game called?
We're gonna call it reality or fake, which is reality TV or fake TV,
Okay.
Yeah, I
which
like
is
that.
ironic because reality
Reality
It's
is
is bullshit. Okay,
very
sorry.
What?
very often
People ask me.
Excuse me.
fake.
It's like when I go home and people are like, "You work in reality TV? Is it real?
Is it real?
Is it real? No, it's TV, folks.
TV. You get cast.
You know,
you
it's
get
even-
video.
and
It's a
even-
conversation with your kid. Go have one before he ends up on my show.
And even the ones that like are filmed real are usually manipulated in post.
You didn't hear it here, folks. Not the shows we work on.
No. The ones that we work on are totally
very
real.
They happen as they film.
it
We
is-
just basically publish the raw footage. We
Yeah.
don't spend a year cutting it.
No, not at all.
Okay. All right. What do you got?
Okay.
Number 1.
Reality show number 1 was called Are You Ticklish? Contestants are subjected to attempts at making them laugh with increasing intensity for a chance to win up to $50,000. Levels include feathers on their feet, stand-up comedians telling them jokes while tickling them, and eliminated, among other things, and eliminated contestants attempting to make them laugh by any means necessary.
Was Bill Cosby the host?
I didn't see who the host was. I didn't write down who the host was. I did this research a while ago, so I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. What do you think, babe?
Oh God, I didn't even register what you were. That's terrible. Okay.
Because he used to rape people.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. So
Oh, is
real
that news? I'm sorry, too soon. What do you think, babe?
real or fake?
What's the title?
Are you ticklish?
Are you ticklish? Real or fake, babe?
Fake.
Do you think that Kyle made that one up?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that one's real.
Okay.
I didn't super appreciate the tone, but okay, let's move on. You think Kyle could come up with that? Oh, okay.
That's not what I meant.
I know.
So defensive. Maybe we need to go back to the
Okay,
Northwest.
number 2. It's called He's a Lady. 11 men accept an invitation to be part of a reality show under the guise that it will be the ultimate male competition. It is eventually revealed that the contestants will have to live, act, and dress like their wives or girlfriends in order to win $250,000.
It's pretty
Show's called He's a Lady. Yeah. That was
I want to say
I
that's
can't say this for sure,
real.
but that was probably the theme song.
I think it's real also because I don't think in this day and age Kyle would make up something that is essentially transphobic in this society.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd generate wouldn't it be funny? Yeah, so I'm gonna go real on that. All right, number 3.
Number 3. Sorry, hold on. You both said
Real.
real?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 3, Tommy Lee goes to college. Motley Crue drummer Tommy Lee attends the University of Nebraska for some reason and attempts to fit in.
Fake. I don't imagine that being interesting.
Do you know who Tommy Lee is?
Well, I said
No.
it in the thing, Motley Crue.
Yeah, and I was still
Right,
asking her.
but I
Yeah.
She's still
You don't know
saying
who
no.
Motley Crue is? Okay, yeah.
No.
He used to be married to Pamela Anderson on the
Oh,
they had a
sure.
famous sex tape. That's what he's known for. Drummer for a band and had sex with Pamela Anderson
Okay.
on video. And then went to Nebraska. Number 4.
Wait, what did you say?
She said fake, I said real.
Okay.
I've actually said real about all 3 of these so far.
Okay, number 4, DNA or DNA? Inspired by the Jerry Springer Show, people with questions about their heritage take DNA tests to find out the truth about who they are. A team of professional investigators assist with tracking down lost families.
Fake.
I'm agreeing. Double fake.
Both say fake?
Yeah.
Okay.
The
Number
title can't fucking be real. DNA.
DNA or DNA? Yes or no? Anyway.
It's a game where you have to guess if it's the
Uncle
blood
Kyle's
of
trying
an...
to justify for his
Number 5.
title.
I never defended or anything. I just was repeating the name.
DNA is just a game about Kanye's blood.
Number 5, naked attraction. A clothed person is faced with 6 naked people who are initially hidden in booths. Their bodies and faces are gradually revealed through successive rounds from the feet up. At each round, the chooser eliminates 1 naked person until the 2 are left, and the chooser also takes off their clothes to make the final choice.
I wish I said fake, but I think it's real.
I'm saying fake.
All right. We're moving on to number 6. Number 6 is called Who's Your Daddy? This is probably the worst one on the list. It is an adult who had been put up for adoption as an infant is placed in a room with 25 men. One of whom is their biological father. If the contestant can correctly pick out who their father is, the contestant wins $100,000. If they choose incorrectly, the person they chose incorrectly gets $100,000, although the contestant will still be reunited with his or her father.
I think it's real.
Oh, shit. This is so crazy. I think it's real. I think it's a one season or cancel sitch.
I think they made one episode and they're like, we can't do this.
A lot of hate.
Because they probably were like,
A lot of backlash.
because you probably killed the dad.
Okay, number 7 is called Shattered. 10 contestants are challenged with going without sleep for 7 days while their actions are constantly monitored. Over the 7 days, the 10 housemates have to endure daily performance testing and a variety of challenges. They are competing for a potential prize fund of $100,000. At any point, if a contestant closes their eyes for over 10 seconds, $1,000 is deducted from the prize fund.
For every 10 seconds, I wonder? Probably not know that.
Wow. Real.
Yeah, I'm going to say real on that too. It's a double real.
People love like,
Double real.
sleep fucking
Yeah,
experiments.
sleep deprivation is like not healthy, but it's not like it's probably gonna kill
It's not
some
going to
people.
kill him. It's fine.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Eventually, what happens?
Totally
You go to
fine.
sleep?
All right, now we have number 8. 24 hours to showtime. Amateur filmmakers are given 24 hours to assemble a team, write a script, shoot, edit, and premiere a film for a chance to win funding for a feature project.
Real.
I'm gonna say fake. I don't know why.
No reasoning?
No,
All right.
I know that's a real thing. I don't know if it's ever. I don't know that it's ever been a TV show. Maybe I've done 48-hour film festivals. That's a totally normal thing.
Right. Okay, number 9. Only 2 left.
Yeah.
Number 9, judge rules. It's 8 law students compete in a competition to defend or prosecute real court cases presided over by Judge Judy. Halfway through each trial, the contestants are told that their roles will be switched and the loser of the case is eliminated.
Real.
Real.
All right, number 10, last one, is called Playing It Straight. One woman spends time on a ranch with a group of men in an attempt to discern which of them are gay and which of them are straight. All of the gay men pretend to be straight.
Fake?
Real.
All right.
I can smell a miscarriage of network decision making.
Yikes.
Okay, now the fun part.
All right, tell us what's up, Uncle Kyle.
Number 1 was Are You Ticklish? I won't go through the whole spiel of it again.
Yeah, is Are You Ticklish real?
Are You
Kyle?
Ticklish was fake.
Nice, Candace got it.
Yes.
Candace got that one.
Good game.
Thank you. Number 2, He's a Lady. It was 100% real, and it was. I don't remember the exact year, but it was like 60s or 70s. It's an old show.
Yep.
Yeah. So
That's what I was starting to
yeah.
think on some of this like fucking
Yeah.
gay shit where they're like, no fucking way they
yeah,
would make this into
no
a show
fucking
now.
way. Yeah,
They
it was
would
real.
then.
You both got that right.
Yeah.
Number 3, Tommy Lee Goes to College was a real show for some reason.
I like have a vague, I vaguely remember it.
I thought that there might be a chance that you might have like had a.
I think I've heard
but-
of it. Yeah, it's like that. It's like that Bret Michaels one too.
Well, because like for me, I put it in there because I remembered Tommy Lee having a show, but I never would have guessed that it was him going to college. So I thought the college part would have thrown you off, but you got it.
Go ahead.
You got it. Number 4 was DNA or DNA. You're absolutely right. That's a ridiculous name, and I made it up.
Yeah.
Actually, technically, the title, the idea for the show is mine, and I actually want to pitch it at some point to a network. So if you're watching,
We'll work on the
it's
title
great.
so that
But
it'll
the
actually get
the
chosen.
title came up in a Zoom meeting for work one time, and one of the people on there, because I just was saying it'd be kind of cool to see with all of this, 21 or
Keep that person
thing.
out of the story department.
and they're like, it's like, and they just like put out like DNA or DNA, and I was like, and everybody just like sighed, and it was
Garbage
Thought it
name.
was funny. It was funny enough to put in.
Okay, number 5.
Number 5, Naked Attraction, is a real show.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that one
got
was
that
a real
right.
one. So
Yeah, you
Candace got
did.
that one as well. Number 6, I think you both said it was real, and unfortunately, yes, it was real. And Rob, actually, I don't remember exactly, but I think you're right. I think they only did one episode and realized this is super fucked up.
The dad thing.
The dad thing. That was the finding an adopted kid and then hunting down their real
my
dad,
You know how
and
I
then
knew
making
it
them
was real?
compete for it. That's
You know how I
fucked
know
up.
it was real? Because that fucking title, I got a lot of these. I just picked after you said the title. Some of them
Yeah,
before you even described
right.
the show. Because I'm like, some of these lame ass pun titles are so a network fucking choice. Who's
absolutely.
your daddy is so fucking like Fox being like, this is gonna be good.
Yeah.
Get
Yep.
out of here. All right, 7.
7 was Shattered, the one about staying awake as a competition, and that was a real show. It actually was, I think, a
Yes.
UK show, and I changed $100,000 from 100,000
We are fucking
euros.
wrecking this.
You guys are doing really, really good.
You're winning by 1 point, but
Hell yeah.
I did get both of you on one of them.
okay.
Oh.
Well, it's got to be number 9. Go ahead, next.
8 was 24 hours to Showtime. Rob, you're 100% correct. It is a thing that happens. It was never a show.
Boom, baby.
We're tied now.
Tied.
Ah!
And we both got, and if he's right, the next one we both got wrong, which means number 10 will be the fucking deciding.
Holy shit, this happened.
Oh my
you guys are tied in points right now?
gosh.
How this played out.
All
I
right,
love it.
number 9.
Number 9. Judge rules.
The Judge Judy show's not
The
real?
Judge Judy show is fake. I made that up 100%.
Wow.
That does say, the Judge Judy part did throw me off because I was like, I think I would know about it if she was involved.
I
If you
was-
had taken that out, it would have been more
I was
convincing.
worried about that. I was worried about
Good job, though.
putting that in there because she's a big enough figure that like
Yeah.
you would think you'd heard about it. But I did also preface this with all of these were canceled after at least one season.
All right, last one. What was it again?
Number 10 was Playing It Straight. Candace, you said fake. Rob, you said real. It was a real show.
Boom. Fuck your mom.
It got one season.
Aw.
So
Oh my god, now I feel fucking
Rob is winning.
terrible.
Although,
that I
hold
won.
on. I'm going to put out a bonus question.
Ooh.
This is some
I'm going to put out
fucking
a bonus
participation
question.
trophy leveling.
Well,
the
it doesn't
playing
mean
field.
that either of you are going to get it. So I said originally all of these had one season or less
Right.
before cancellation. Some of them didn't even air. I think the Who's Your Daddy, I don't think that ever even actually aired.
Thank God.
Or they might have aired the one episode and then pulled the rest of it. But I actually lied. One of these shows, at least at the time that I was making this list, which was a few months ago, is still on the air.
What?
It is on the air I believe in the UK.
There's so many to choose from.
And Shattered is not the only one that I changed the prize amount for.
Oh, I was gonna say, was that a context clue?
They're still awake.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's
same-
been
it's
the
the
same
first
people.
cast.
It's been
Yeah,
the
I
same
was
they
gonna
thing.
Who
guess that
cares?
one, just regardless.
And it's I don't remember exactly. I think it's had 7 or 8 seasons actually, and I'm pretty sure it's still on there. It might have been in the last year. It might have.
Actually, I'm going to agree with Candace. I think that sounds like the most likely one to pull off that's not crazy fucked up.
Was that
like
your guess
stay-
though?
yeah,
Shattered was
stay-
Shattered your guess?
She said, yeah,
Candace?
the sleep one.
yeah,
I
you said it wasn't though, right?
I'm just saying that I didn't mean to give like the context clue does not
It was about the
tell
amount.
you that it is. I'm just saying that's not the only show shot in the UK. I guess that was.
I still think that's the most likely to be real. What do you think?
Are you sticking with Shattered, both of you?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, well, that's fine. It was just a bonus point anyway. The actual answer is Naked Attraction. That has been on for years and is still a thing.
Where do they film that?
The UK.
They filmed that one in the UK too, so they like slowly, like,
Yeah,
and then they have to
it's
take
like
off their clothes when they guess.
yeah, and it's It's
Our TV
Wow.
sucks, man. We can't even get
you
no
can
fucking-
actually find episodes of it on I think on YouTube, but it's got the
Wow.
it's got the you have to like sign in and be over 18 and all that because they are naked and it shows everything.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Genie. Wow. Good nap.
Well, this was a lot of fun. I had a good time.
I'm glad you liked it.
This was
Congratulations,
good. Good
Rob.
This
game.
was fun. Good
Thank
job,
you.
babe.
Definitely.
That
owe
was
you.
a close game.
It was a
though.
very close game and very well constructed. I really look forward to sharing that with somebody because even though we got a lot of them right,
Yeah.
we definitely got plenty of them wrong for someone else to struggle to figure that out. I
Sure.
would adjust your DNA thing so that doesn't give away how fake that one is. But other
Yeah.
than that, I think the game is good as it is.
I did try to think of a different title, but it stuck with me because it's so ridiculous, and I just had to throw it in there for laughs.
Uncle Kyle, I think we should play drunk person or a kid again.
Yeah, drunk or a
Yeah.
kid is
So
fun as fuck.
fun.
That is a fun one. I'll have to come up with some of my own, I think, because we used the good ones from the actual subreddit. So,
Oh,
I'll
there's
come up with
bound to
some-
be more.
oh, I'm
Reddit.
sure. I haven't checked it in a while either, so we could always do
Yeah,
like.
we'll find
I did
more.
best of all time. We could do like best of the month or something and see.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's
All
fair.
right, babe.
Cool.
Did you have fun today? Good episode?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. We got a little heated.
Yeah, we did.
We got
Little heated.
some fun in there as well. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Definitely excited about some stuff that's happening soon. We have another show that we've been talking about for a while that we're going to shelve for a little bit only because we have so many things on our plate. Also, at the Elephants, the show that the first podcast I ever created is coming back this fall. More details on that soon. Recorded the first episode today and working with a bunch of really talented people to get that one going again. And welcome back, Uncle Kyle.
Yes.
And thank you all very much. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
All right.
Yo, you watched a whole episode of We Are New, the best podcast with viewers in the double digits. I hope you enjoyed it. There's more episodes and clips available for you in these locations. So please click on them and watch them. Maybe you want to know more about us. Maybe you want to feel like you're our friends. Well, we're very selective about our friends in real life, but you can feel like you're our friend if you watch more of our content. Thank you.